In a quiet village surrounded by green fields, a boy named Raghav woke every day before the sun. Long before anyone else was up, he was already out plowing the soil and watering crops until sweat covered his skin. After his exhausting labor in the fields, he would come home, wash up, and study late into the night. The entire village shared a single conviction: Raghav was guaranteed to achieve perfect marks on his 12th grade exams. That heavy weight of communal expectation made the reality of exam day a profound shock. When the results arrived, Raghav had failed a single subject. When an identity is anchored entirely to a crowd of approval, a single setback feels like a total collapse of the self. Raghav's internal worth was now tied to a scoreboard he no longer controlled. The village's reaction was swift. The same neighbors who had once offered support transformed into harsh, laughing critics. His daily walk to the fields became an agonizing gauntlet. People whispered from the sidelines, openly mocking the smart boy who couldn't even manage a passing grade. This is the weight of cognitive clutter. When the brain is forced to constantly process incoming external judgments, it exhausts the mental resources needed to maintain internal confidence. Raghav had inadvertently traded his internal stability for a seat in the gallery of public opinion, leaving his peace of mind hostage to the noise of the crowd. Exhausted by the pressure, Raghav sought out teacher Karim, an older man known for his calm demeanor. Raghav confessed that the mockery had become a burden he could no longer carry. The teacher listened, then gave Raghav a highly specific task. He was to take a large earthen pot, fill it with milk to the very brim, and walk the exact same path through the village. The condition was absolute. If even a single drop of milk spilled along the way, the task was a failure. The next morning, Raghav stepped outside with the heavy pot. True to form, the villagers were already lined up on the sides of the path, ready to resume their judgment. Escaping a cycle of mental paralysis often requires a physical catalyst, a task so immediate and demanding that it forces the mind into total, unblinking presence. Raghav took his first slow steps. Every ounce of his physical coordination and visual attention shifted to the trembling surface of the milk. This illustrates attentional capacity. The human brain has a strict neurological limit on how much information it can process at any given second. Because balancing the milk required his entire focus, Raghav's brain lacked the remaining bandwidth to process the villagers' mockery. The world around him faded. The faces of the villagers blurred, and their laughs became distant echoes. The only thing left was his own steady heartbeat. Deep focus functions as a natural filter. By committing every bit of cognitive energy to a single target, external distractions simply run out of room to exist. Raghav reached the fields without spilling a drop. He had been so immersed in the task that he was completely oblivious to the people who had lined the path. Teacher Karim observed that once an individual aligns deeply with their own purpose, the noise of the crowd loses its weight. The village willing the same, but Raghav's relationship to it had changed. He stopped listening to the echoes of the crowd and began listening to his own intuition. He returned to a life of quiet study and hard work. He prepared for his exams again, walking through the village with a renewed sense of peace, unburdened by the need for external validation. When the pressure of expectations begins to feel overwhelming, the solution is to find your own milk pot. Hold fiercely to your goals